Hello lovely people, this is your English instructor from Sniper Defense Academy Meerut. I hope you all are safe and doing well. So before starting this video, I'm going to be asking you all a simple question. That do you find any difference between the English that you read in textbooks and the English that you speak or hear native people speaking? Well yes, the English that we read in textbooks, storybooks and novels is kind of a bookish language and doesn't sound fluent while speaking. While the English that we speak and hear native people speaking has a fluency in it and kind of adds on a natural flow to it, right? So yes, this is what our today's video is about. Today we are going to be learning that how to make your English sound naturally fluent and how to not use bookish language, right? So let's start the video. So firstly, let me just reveal the secret behind it. What's the secret? That how the English of native speakers sounds so fluent. So the secret behind it, contractions. So what is the meaning of contraction? Contraction is a process of making something shorter, right? This is what we have read, or you can Google it on your phones, right? So in English language, similarly, we contract two consecutive words in a sentence, right? And that makes your English, your sentences, your conversation fluent. Okay? So here it is written, you can see a shorter form of a word or words. Right? So this is the thing which we are going to do in our video. Let's just move to our first contraction, which is do plus not. First, let me just write an example of it so that you can understand it in a better way. I do not want to go, right? I do not want to go. It's a simple sentence, right? Imagine you are having conversation with your friends, with your siblings, or with your family members, and all of a sudden you say, I do not want to go. Doesn't it sound a bit of robotic? It sounds like a bookish language, right? So how to use contractions in this sentence so that your sentence can sound a bit of fluent? So the first one is do plus not. So here, do and not. All we have to do is we have to merge both these words and it will make up don't. What I did is, what we have to do is in a simple sentence, you just have to merge two consecutive words. Please pay attention, I am talking about consecutive words. जो लगातार आ रहे हैं in a sentence, right? So यहाँ पे do and not, both these words are consecutive, right? आगे पीछे आ रहे हैं. So here what we did is we merged both these words and made a single word, made a different word out of it, which is don't. So now what the sentence became? Now the sentence becomes I don't want to go. So instead of saying I do not want to go, instead of sounding like a robot, you can either say I don't want to go, right? Sounds fluent? Yes. So let's move to our second contractions, which is are plus not. Again, I'm going to write an example of it. They are not going. So the sentence we have here is they are not going, right? They are not going. So how to make this sentence shorter using contraction? All what we have to do is, these are two consecutive words, are and not. After submerging them, we get a new different word which is aren't, which is A-R-E-N-T. So instead of saying they are not going, instead of saying they are not going, again it sounds a robotic language, right? So here we have to say they aren't going. Repeat after me, they aren't going, right? It sounds fluent. Moving on to our next contraction, which is can plus not. So I'm going to write a sentence of it. So here the sentence we have is I cannot help you. For example, your any family member, your friend or your sibling asks for your help and you say I cannot help you, right? I cannot help you. So again it sounds like a bookish language, like you are reading something, right? So to make it fluent, to add a natural flow to it, you can say I can't help you. Here we will merge both these words. We'll merge can and not. And the new word which we'll get is can't. So instead of saying I cannot help you, you can say I can't help you, right? Repeat after me. I can't help you. So the next contraction we have is will plus not. Let's see a sentence. So here we have a sentence using both these words, which is will plus not. So how to make a contraction of it? You are saying she will not talk to you. She will not talk to you. So how to apply this trick to your sentences? You don't have to spell each and every word singularly, right? You have to just, what we say is we have to eat up the sounds of words. You have to just eat up the sounds. Here we have will plus not, and it will make she won't talk to you. She won't talk to you. Here we merge will and not, and it made a very simple and different word, which is won't. She won't talk to you. What we did is we cut out the sounds of both these words, will and not, and after getting merged together, these two words make up a single word, which is won't. So instead of saying she will not talk to you, she will not talk to you, you can say she won't talk to you, right? Repeat after me. She won't talk to you, right? I hope it is helping you, right? Next we have the word is not, right? Is not. Let me just write a sentence of it. She is not eating. She is not eating. And let's add another word, anything. So the sentence is she is not eating anything, right? So after making a contraction of both these words, which two words, is and not, we got a simple contraction, we got a simple new word, which is isn't. I-S-N-T. Right? So after merging both these words, we got a single word, a single different word out of it, which is the contraction of both is and not. And the contraction is isn't. So she isn't eating anything. Again, instead of speaking, she is not eating anything. She is not talking to me. You can say she isn't eating anything, or you can say she isn't talking to me, right? It sounds a kind of fluent, and automatically, naturally, a flow gets added to your conversation if you use contractions. And this is the thing, this is the only thing which native speakers do different from us. They just add contractions, they just contract two different words, and automatically their sentences, their conversation, their everything sounds so perfect and so fluent, right? Moving on to our next contraction, which is I plus am. I am. I am not well. I'm not well. Like someone asks you that, hey, how are you? You say, I'm not well. So instead of saying, I am not well, instead of pronouncing each and every word separately, what you have to do is, you have to cut down the sounds of both these words, I and am. And after cutting down the sounds of both these words, the new contraction which you get is, I am. I am not well. Or you can say I'm not feeling well, right? So I am not well gets turned into I'm not well. Repeat after me. I'm not well. So here I am. I am. Not different. Make a single word out of it. I'm not well, right? Like if I'm saying I'm not going. I'm not going, right? I'm not talking to you. Doesn't sound it cool? Now, the next contraction we have is there is. If I am saying there is a park, there is a park. So again, we don't have to pronounce each and every word. We don't have to let the sounds of these words come separately. But we have to use contractions. And let me just write a sentence for it. There is a... So here we have a sentence, there is a park. For example, you're talking to your friend and your friend asks you that where should we go? Where should we go to hang out? And you say, there's a park. There is a park. So instead of saying both these words separately, instead of making their sound come separately, you can contract both these words and make a single word out of it after merging them. And the new contraction which becomes out of them is there's. There's a park. So the new sentence which we got is there's a park. Instead of saying there is a park, instead of sounding like a robot, all you have to do is you just have to use these contractions and you can say there is a park. If you say your mother asks you that where is my wallet, or father asks you where is my wallet, you can say there's your wallet. There is. You don't have to say there is. There is your wallet. You can say there's your wallet. Right? It sounds fluent automatically. The next contraction which we have is should not. Should not. Again, let's just see it in an example. Here the sentence we have is she should not go. She should not go. Right? She should not go. Instead of making every single word, making it sound, you can say, you can just merge both these words, should and not. And the contraction which comes out of it, it is shouldn't. So here, what we did is, we merged both these words and made a simple contraction out of it. And the contraction which we got is shouldn't. Right? Shouldn't. So instead of saying she should not go, you can say she shouldn't go. What is the pronunciation of this word? It is shouldn't. Right? Repeat after me. She shouldn't go. Or you can take another example, which is you should not play at this time. तुमको इस समय नहीं खेलना चाहिए. You shouldn't play at this time. Instead of saying this, you can say you shouldn't play at this time. Right? It sounds fluent, and naturally a flow gets added to your sentences. The next contraction which we have is it is would plus not. I would not talk to you. Here the sentence which we have is I would not talk to you. For example, you are angry with your friend or with your sibling and you say I would not talk to you. So instead of making these two words sounding separately, you can just merge both these words and make a single word of it. And the word and the contraction which becomes is wouldn't. Right? I would not talk to you becomes I wouldn't talk to you. Repeat after me. Seriously, I'm telling you that if you do not practice these words, if you do not practice speaking these words, pronouncing these words, you won't be able to get a good command over your English, and you won't be able to add this fluency. What our aim is, we just have to speak English naturally. We don't have to use bookish language. And until and unless you don't speak these words, pronounce these words in your daily conversation with your friends, you can practice with any of your friend, your siblings, your parents, anyone, right? So, repeat after me. I would not talk to you becomes I wouldn't talk to you. Repeat after me. I wouldn't talk to you. So here, would and not. Both these words made a different contraction, which is wouldn't. And the sentence becomes I wouldn't talk to you. Right? Sounds similar now? So, now we are moving to our next contraction, which is let plus us. A very simple sentence. Let us go. It's a very simple sentence. Let us go. Let us go to a restaurant. Let us go to the hotel. Let us go to play outside. So instead of saying let us differently, separately, you can use the contraction, which becomes let's go. So here the contraction which we got out of let plus us is let's. Let's go. Right? It kind of sounds fluent, and naturally a flow gets added to your sentence. Instead of saying you can say let's go. Let us go. Instead of saying let us go, you can say let's go. Repeat after me. Let's go. Now the next contraction we have is he is. He is going. He is going. Now we have to contract two words, he plus is. And the contraction which we got after merging these words is he's. He's. Right? You have to say, instead of saying he is going, you can say he's going. So what you did is, you just cut down the sound of both these words, he and is. Both these words does not sound separately. It becomes a collective word, a single word, which became he's. So instead of saying he is going, you can say he's going, or he is not talking to me, या फिर he is not having his food. Instead of saying he is not having his food, you can say he is not having his food. Repeat after me. He is not having his food. So he and is. After merging these words, we got he's. He's not talking to me. He's not having his food. He's not coming with me. Right? Our next contraction is she plus is. She is. She is studying. Right? Here the sentence we have is she is studying. Instead of saying she is studying, you can use the contraction she's. She's studying. So here the word she, we have it as it. The sentence we have here is she is studying. Instead of saying she is studying, you can say she's studying. So here what we did is we merged both these words and made a contraction out of it, which became she's. Earlier we had he is, and it sounded like he's. He's not studying, he's not having his food, he's not talking to me. And similarly here we have she, only the pronouns get changed, right? Here we are applying contractions to pronouns. Earlier we put it to he, and now we are putting it to she. So she is studying. You can say she's studying. Repeat after me. She's studying. You don't have to say both these words separately. You have to say she's. Now moving on to our next contraction, we have want to. Here the level gets added up. Earlier we were doing very simple contractions, but this one is kind of you are going to a next level, right? So here we have want plus to. I want to have tea. sentence we have is I want to have tea. Now what we have to do is, instead of saying I want to have tea, you have to say, you'll just add both these words, want and to, and the word, the contraction which will become out of it is wanna. Earlier the contractions which we had were kind of very simple, but now the contractions which I'm telling you now, right, it's kind of, you are stepping up the level. I want to have tea. Instead of saying I want to have tea, you can say I want to have tea. Repeat after me. I want to have tea. Right? Let's take another example. Here we had I want to have tea. I want to go to shopping. Right? I want to go for shopping. Next sentence is I want to go for shopping. I want to go for shopping. Instead of saying this, you can say I want to go for shopping. Repeat after me. I want to go for shopping. Right? Next contraction which we have is going plus to. She is going to love it. The sentence which we have here is she is going to love it. Now we have to merge both these words, going and to, and make a contraction out of it, and the contraction is gonna. The contraction is gonna, right? What is the contraction? The contraction which we got is G-O-N-N-A. Now instead of saying she is going to love it, she is going to love it. To add a fluency to your sentence, you can say she is gonna love it. What I said, she is gonna love it. Now in this sentence, I used two contractions, not only one but two contractions. Where firstly, she plus is, which became she's. Right? हमने पिछली स्लाइड में पढ़ा था she's. She is going to love it. It becomes she's gonna love it. She is gonna love it. Right? She is going to love it becomes she's gonna love it. Now moving on to our next and the last sentence, last contraction I would say. It is let plus me. So here the sentence we have is let me focus on studies. Let me focus on my studies, or let me focus on studies. So here the contraction we'll make it will become let plus me. So let plus me becomes lemmy. L-E-M-M-E. So the sentence, the new sentence which we got is let me focus on studies. Instead of saying let me focus on my studies, you can say let me focus on my studies. Again, we made the sentence shorter by merging both these words, and a natural flow gets added to your sentence. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found all these contractions very useful. And if you like this video, please visit our YouTube channel and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and do not forget to hit the bell icon. This is it for today, guys. If you found this video helpful, please like it. Thank you, everyone.